I'm Maddie.
I'm Amber.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot.
We are the weirdos in this story.
Like a song, like a sailor snubble. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. Sam.
Wow. Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And today we're talking about the
Being
love
Witches
witch.
Talking Tarot.
Motherfucker. I'm sorry. You
It's
keep it in?
I mean, we
can cut it or just keep going.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be talking all about the love witch, which I actually thought this movie was from the 70s. I truly did. The way that it was shot, like
So good.
like
They did a good
cinematography
job.
rise, it was fantastic. I truly thought it was from like the 70s, and I was like, why have I not seen this? Why have I not heard of this?
Well, that's what I thought when I first started seeing the memes a couple years ago. Like, because there's the meme of her driving
Right.
with her cigarette, and she's got her hat on, and like the coast is behind her. And I'm like, what movie is this? Because like I don't recognize the actress, but it definitely looked like it was from the 70s. So like I've known since pretty early on in my knowledge of the love witch that it was a current era movie.
2020 or 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
It was filmed to look like it was made in the 70s.
And they didn't just
They did
it was
the acting was like in the 70s. It wasn't just the aesthetics were
Right.
like the 70s. Everybody embodied the 70s in like the way that they talked to each other, the way that they moved.
the way that they kissed.
Yeah.
The kissing was very much face rubbing against face, like it was in the 70s,
Yeah.
not like it is nowadays.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was beautiful.
It
the
was
way
great.
that it was done.
I loved the outfits. Her outfits were fantastic.
Her makeup.
I'm not sure if I like better her teal eye or her purple eye. The teal is so striking. The purple goes with the brown so perfectly.
I mean, it was great.
She is.
So basically, the love witch. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I was not expecting as much glamour magic and certain things, but I also wasn't expecting a murder mystery.
Basically, the love witch is about this girl who's supposedly heartbroken by her boyfriend or whatever.
Maybe she just
Crazy.
able to be satisfied. Yeah, she
Right?
correct.
So she moves to this new town near the coast, and she's gonna start all over. And I can't lie. I love the fact that she makes her own spell candles. She makes her own soaps.
I love her chemistry setup. Like,
Same.
Okay, her friend just happens to have this apartment available. Like,
right.
you lucky
Her
bitch.
friend, her high priestess.
Yeah,
it was very,
her high
very
priestess.
Wiccan, which I guess
Very
we'll
Wiccan. Very,
get into.
very stereotypically Wiccan.
Yes.
I do wonder if you're a Wiccan and you've seen The Love Witch. Please let me know. I'm curious. Like, did you find it tongue-in-cheek? Like, I found the movie to be very self-aware and making fun of a lot of the themes that it was covering, okay? And I loved that about it. But as a Wiccan, I wonder, is it offensive the way that they put on the rituals and stuff, or because it's so stereotypically Wiccan and the things that people say, like, because everybody's sky-clad, there's sex involved, there's the things that people usually are like, no, that's not really how we do it. You know what I mean?
To be more
Very stereotypical.
old, book smart Wiccan, not street smart Wiccan.
Well, and I
is the
mean,
way
like,
that
and
I
that's
would
what I mean by
describe it.
stereotypical, because like they probably read about it, but they probably didn't like talk necessarily to anybody. And I just wonder, from a person who is a practicing Wiccan, from their perspective, I'm curious, like, if you find it offensive or if you find it like kind of amusing that it's making fun of itself. I really enjoy that aspect of the movie so much.
No, I do want to say, one of my favorite like Wiccan rituals was in there. The Great Rites, not the Great Rite, but the symbolic Great Rite, which is where the person lays on the altar and then above them they hold the chalice and then they stab the thing through the chalice. I love that because I think that it's such a powerful ritual. I prefer it to the actual Great Rite for obvious reasons, you know what I mean? But the way that they did that was very interesting.
Well,
Very beautiful.
I find it very interesting how well this episode ties in with the themes of some things we're covering here in season 4, and how much next episode's going to tie in as well. Because later next month we'll be covering Gardner and Wicca, his creation of Wicca in the 1950s. And I mean, like, so the 70s and it being Wicca, it makes very much sense because of the fact, like you said, Wicca had just become mainstream in the same time frame. So whereas it might be unbelievable that in the 70s you could find a witchy shop to go buy things in, or as a witch sell things in, but she could, and it makes sense because that was the rise of the New Age. Check out last season or season 2 when we talked about New Age spiritualism, but like it was the rise of that. So that being the theme for a 1970s based movie about a love witch, it all fits, because also you're moving from the love hippie thing in the 60s to the disco love, free love in the 70s, and so like it also works like very much on theme.
Well,
and she's so fucking fashionable with glamour magic.
Yeah, seriously. The only thing that was kind of out there for me, at least in the terms of the Wiccan things, is they did address the if harm done, do what you will. Like, they did address that. However, this bitch obviously don't give a shit about that.
And her high
priest, like, said
totally
something.
knew.
He did, and he said
absolutely
something
knew.
about it. He's like, you're victims. And she's like, what are you talking about?
And he's like, I'm not fucking stupid. But also, like, she was very uncomfortable with the Great Rite as it played out. And, like, he obviously knows she's uncomfortable with
the
his
physical one,
touching, and he keeps doing it. So
well, and I think that we're not talking about Wicca right now, so I won't get into it. But like, I do think that has something to do with why everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is a satanic sex cult." You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If that's how like people were behaving, and especially because my whole life, everything I've ever seen of somebody who's like in charge, right? Like Wiccan thing where they're like on the news or whatever, they're always talking about how that's an exaggeration, it's a stereotype, it's not really how people practice. And so like
it's how it was originally written. That's what I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're gonna talk about that next. We're gonna talk about Aleister Crowley, and that'll come up more next episode. But anywho, like it just I can't remember what because
there was a very stereotypical should have been offensive but wasn't seen, where they went to the
love it
Midsummer Festival.
Love it.
Everybody was dressed up like it was a Renaissance
fair. Like,
but I loved
minstrels playing music. I loved it too. I would absolutely participate that way. Now, I do feel like maybe that should have been more of a like Beltane celebration.
I was
seemed
wondering
more
Beltane-y.
But if you're not pagan and you're writing a pagan thing, you might get something a little bit small like that mixed up. But they did a pretty good job otherwise of getting real things in there. They did
the tarot cards all pictured absolutely went along with what they meant.
In their, like they were probably smart in the sense that they didn't go as broad as a lot of other things do. They worked with like less than 8 cards total throughout the whole movie.
That is
true. Like they had a theme going, and I think that probably helped them to be able to
keep up the accuracy.
Yeah, because like just ask a tarot reader, like, hey, what would this reading, like, what would be a good reading for this happening? What would be a good reading for this happening? And they're like, okay, great, we'll put that in. Those are your 3 cards. I did love all of the visuals of the movie, though. Like, it was so striking visually. I see why it was immediately a cult classic. Also, the self-awareness makes it fucking chef's kiss, man. Like, I love a self-aware movie. I love a movie that realizes what it's making fun of. 100%. dig it. I wish she would have been more multidimensional, but in the end, I guess she was
Well,
a murderer who got away with it.
for me, I feel like what they were really making fun of was 70s movies. Like, not so much witchcraft.
Oh, yeah, no.
or, you know,
Yeah, I don't think they were making fun of
yeah,
witchcraft
it
at
was
all.
it was
No,
like
they were making fun of like stereotypical things.
yeah.
No, and I loved it. I loved it. Like, because at one point, my husband was in the room with us, and he's like, I can't tell if the bad acting is like on purpose or not. And the whole movie, myself and my daughter had been in and out watching with us. She was wondering the same thing because, like, was it bad acting on purpose? Or
I really think it was on purpose, like 70s.
no,
bad
like
acting.
a lot of them, I absolutely think it was on purpose. The main character, I'm not sure. She might just be a bad actress. I'm not sure. I'm like, I'm
They're
iffy
either
on the
bad
main
actresses, or she's either a bad actress or a really good actress.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like I am, but I am also like torn on her. Like, I want to like her.
she gave off Bond woman vibes. Bond woman vibes in the sense that they're kind of there to be sexy. They're kind of there to be
Yeah,
like,
she was very one-dimensional. Like, there's a
one-dimensional.
lot of talk about, like, if you make a man happy, you'll be happy. And, like, she's talking to a very progressive woman at one point who's like, no. And I like that lady.
for me,
But bad things happen to her. Which I don't want to give too many spoilers away. If you haven't seen it.
you should definitely
You should.
watch it because it was really,
What
really
were you
good.
about to say?
If I had to give this a rating out of 5 stars, I would definitely do 4, if not 4.5. I'm only doing 4 out of 5 instead of 5 out of 5 because I wasn't a fan of the abrupt ending. Now, you had mentioned previously it was giving
Hitchcock vibes.
Hitchcock
Yes,
vibes.
it did give me
so
big
the
Hitchcock
ending
vibes.
was also very Hitchcocky.
Well,
in my
and
opinion.
I like how the ending definitely lets you know she's psychotic. It is one of those. It's one of those. I came away from this movie feeling like she is a female version of. Oh, what's the fuck his name in Psycho? The guy
Norman
in Psycho.
Bates.
Norman Bates. Ned Beatty was coming to mind. I was like, that's not
Love
right.
me some Norman Bates.
Love Norman Bates.
And that is a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, definitely. I love all of the Hitchcock movies that I've seen.
Am I fucking
love
pronouncing
it.
his name?
I
wrong?
wasn't sure if you were saying Hitchcock or Hitchcock.
I was saying Hitchcock. What the
It's
fuck?
Hitchcock with
Hitchcock.
appropriate. I wonder if that.
Dude, please correct me next time.
I wasn't sure. Like that was
I'm full out of myself.
no. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean?
I think it's
That's
like,
why I really pronounced the hard C because I was like, I'm not trying to say cock too hard, but I couldn't tell if you were saying
no,
cock
thank
or
you
not.
very much.
Yeah,
But,
it's
you know,
cock, guys.
Speaking of
Cock.
Psycho, I think so. There's the American Psycho, which I've never seen. Totally different movie, right?
Love
I've only seen one clip from this movie, and I'm
it.
pretty sure it's where he's like going to unalive someone, and he turns around and he thinks he's gay, and he's like, "We can't do this. We can't do this," and like he's like, you know what I mean?
that part. I love that.
Does he end
I
up
thought you were about to
unaliving
say the
that
part with the
person?
prostitute.
Oh no.
It's that like kind of effeminate guy. I love that guy.
He's on the Fallout, right? Is it him?
I'm sorry, what?
The guy from Fallout. He's kind of feminine. He plays the ghoul.
I don't think he's an American Psycho.
I don't know. I don't know who that guy is. I haven't.
Well, see, I think the guy that you're talking about is. Let me just pull up the movie I do know of him in. It's Rose Red, which is Stephen King, which is almost like present day Hitchcock, right? No, not okay. Rose Red. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I don't know the name of this guy at all. Whatsoever. Matt Ross.
Oh my
Isn't it that
fucking
guy?
God. Maybe it is him. I don't know. That's hilarious though.
Okay,
because
is he in American Psycho? Let's do that. Is he in? He is in American Psycho.
So he's just like,
So he's the one that you're talking about because I do remember. I'm pretty sure. Isn't he?
he's like touching his lips. Shh.
Yeah. It's 100%. Now I have to. Sorry, y'all. Yes, he is an American Psycho. Okay. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, that's that guy, and he is not the same guy that's in Vice Principals.
No,
and,
no.
Fallout. But yeah, I remember that part. I thought you were gonna say the only part you've seen is like some clips from when he's with the prostitute.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's such a good movie.
need
I
to watch
love
it.
it so much. I used to love what's his face so much, Christian Bale. I named my fucking cat Christian. Leaf Christian Eriksen. Obviously, after Leaf Eriksen.
Christian Bale, I'm not a fan, and you know why I'm not a fan? Because everybody fucking loved him growing up because they're like, oh, he's Batman. And I said, no, he's not Batman.
No, he's not fucking Batman.
Michael Keaton is Batman. Don't play with me, bro. And that's and you know who's Catwoman? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Was Halle Berry ever Catwoman?
Yes, she's probably like, okay, let's be real. Halle Berry killed that role.
Halle Berry can.
She was a good Catwoman. But Michelle Pfeiffer.
I'm not going to say the obvious things here.
But Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Keaton together, oh my god. Dude, she'd be grabbing
I'm sorry,
his tongue.
YouTube, was that too far?
Catwoman be grabbing his tongue like, cat got your tongue. I'm hot.
Look, all Michelle Pfeiffer, don't get me wrong, but like, Halle Berry.
As Catwoman in
As
that
Catwoman.
leather, dang.
Ah!
I love
I'm not
her.
really into blondes either.
Well, Halle Berry has that nice ass haircut. And I like that haircut.
She's so beautiful. Oh, like her cheekbone jawline.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If we're gonna talk about because I'm pretty sure Halle Berry has some like dark brown eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and the Love Witch has these deep chocolate brown eyes that like they are so mesmerizing.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that she steals that one lady's man just for the stare. She's like,
looking. Dude, for real. But the sad thing
again,
is,
I'm sorry, YouTube.
the reality is there are truly some witches that can do things like that. I knew one. And she wasn't ashamed of it at all. She wasn't ashamed of being that type of witch that drained people's energies via sexual intercourse. She got pleasure from it. Just admitting that that's what she did seemed to give her pleasure just talking about it. So you think in your head, at least I did anyway, that there are not actual people like this. There are not succubuses. There are not energy vampires that fuck people for their energy. I don't want to believe that people would be that nasty, but there are, and they love it, and it's sick.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately, so you say that, and it was right there, and then it left. Oh, and there are people like non-witches that, because look, eye contact is a very powerful thing when it comes to sexual tension. And they will use that stare. They will use whatever body chemistry thing they've got going on to be able to have that power over another, which I think is what the Love Witch thrives on. She thrives on not only this person's devotion to her, but having the power over them because she is spelling them. Truly, these men didn't come to her on their own. They are truly bewitched. They are hexed. They are enchanted.
So, Amber, would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely. Just be very clear. It's very self-aware, and it's cheesy on purpose, and it goes after certain themes on purpose to, I think, prove a point. Because back in the 70s, look at Foxy Brown. She wasn't known as a badass detective or bounty hunter or whatever. She's known as being a hot chick. You know what I mean? And I think that the Love Witch very much kind of points that trope out that, even when she's the main character, She's got to be sexy, and she's got to be thinking about pleasing a man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think all of that was said ironically, or
I think the
like you said-
magic was portrayed very well. I think the craft
I
was
think so.
portrayed,
Mhm.
even in the aspects that maybe were like negative, like negative stereotypes,
Mhm.
I guess. They did a good job in portraying things that are actually like you can find that. Like people maybe don't necessarily practice that way anymore, at least. But it's information that's definitely out there and accurately portrayed, even if we might not believe that there are really people that practice that way. If
I
that
would
makes
say
sense.
it is one of the better ones that in terms of portraying witchcraft and I guess Wicca as a religion. I would definitely say it's one of the ones that did their research on certain topics. You know what I mean?
From a research perspective, yes.
Yes.
The fact that they made this lady a killer through the act of witchcraft, I think they portrayed some bad stereotypes there. I think that, but I hear what you're saying. I'm with you everywhere else. I just think that maybe she could have been a killer and a witch, not a killer as a witch. You know what I mean?
I hear you, but like to me, I totally hear you. It's the same as
Like at the end,
the
she
witch,
was.
the witch being the bad guy in the movie Terror. You know what I mean? So it's one of those movies where the witch is the bad guy. You know,
Totally get you. Totally get you. But I guess when you say better, like in my head, I'm thinking, well, but you mean better just from a standpoint of accuracy.
just from a standpoint
And-
of accuracy with spell
so
casting, things like that.
I was
yes.
hearing it in a different
Mhm.
manner when I responded.
I
But
hate.
get you.
I do hate the movies where the witch is always the bad guy, but
Well, look, I can handle it if she's a witch and a murderer. At the end, she was a witch and she was a murderer because it's 9 years old. Are we allowed to spoiler?
yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So at the end, he won't be spelled. He won't fall into her spell. And yet he doesn't leave. And to me, that's almost him succumbing, right? Not to her. So in the end, she is a witch and a murderer. But throughout the rest of it, she is a witch murderer, a murderous witch.
Who
She
killed people via
with
her craft,
right? As
And-
opposed to just being a
Well, it really
practitioner who
sucks.
also kills.
I didn't want that guy to die.
I liked him.
I liked him a lot,
had
and I
Superman
really wanted
vibes.
it. I really wanted it. Excuse me, guys. It is
It
late
is
here.
very late here.
I
guys.
really wanted it to be where he stayed with her.
I thought that's what was going on. Like he didn't leave. He just laid down. Maybe he laid down in exhaustion. Maybe he laid down in exasperation. But he didn't leave.
Well, and that's one of the things about the movie is it's art. It leaves much for interpretation. You know, at
Right.
least in terms of the ending, which is where the Hitchcock ending kind of comes in.
Well, I
you
mean,
know. Hitchcock always left a
well,
blank canvas in the end, like with the birds. Did they get out, or did they get caught by the birds? We don't know. We
we do. Well, yeah, we don't know what happens with her.
it doesn't
He is.
say.
He doesn't
Well, yeah,
make it
but
out.
she drives away, and it just ends with her driving. And,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
mean, again, we don't know if he was going to stay. Was he going to turn around? We don't know. It just seemed to me like he was like resigning himself, like, you know, I'm going to stay even without drinking your potion, quite literally.
Mhm.
I don't know. I really liked it. I
I
really
liked
liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the aspects of it. There were some character aspects that I disliked, but I mean, you're not supposed to just love everybody.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's supposed to happen. So I don't know. Is there anything else you can think of to say about the love?
No, other than I highly recommend it if it's something you've been debating on watching, like Amber and I have been, or wanting to watch. Don't put it off. Actually, watch it. It's
Yeah.
really good.
If you are wanting to break up with someone who knows that you practice the craft or are into the craft, go ahead and watch this together on Valentine's Day. You know, it might save you some trouble. They might be like, been acting funky lately. I'm just going to step back. Sorry, y'all. I just thought that was funny. So if you want to find out more about your favorite witches, you can do what Death by DVD.
Pam.
And Victoria have done. And that is be our patrons on patreon.com/Witches Talking Tarot. You can support us for as little as $6 a month.
You can like and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And check us out on Threads, Instagram, Facebook at Witches Talking Tarot.
Yes, and you can find us on the X at Classiest Witches because we are the classiest witches you know.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye. So do you want me to take that and that beginning?